Oh yeah!
Hello my gaming family and welcome to another video. After a short break, I am again here with you, and this time I decided to show you some new upcoming games that in my opinion looks really interesting. There is a tons of games out there that will come in near future, and they all look very interesting on their own unique way, and for this video I have singled out a few of the most interesting to me to begin with, and in some of the upcoming videos I will show you the others. Also, before we continue guys, note that by pressing that subscribe button you help the growth of this channel a lot, and also you're rewarding my work, so if you like my videos and want to support my work, make sure you click that button right now. Okay, this list we will start with a game that I covered in a dedicated video and it looks really promising. Ripout is an upcoming online co-op horror FPS that will allow players to fight their way through procedurally generated ships filled with mutants capable of reconfiguring their alien bodies. When it comes to the story behind this title, it seems that after genetically engineering a powerful but dangerous bioweapon to fend off alien invaders, humanity falls victim to its own creation. You wake up in the year 2084 as one of the last surviving Earth soldiers, and the fate of the humanity resting in your hands. Fighting aliens in futuristic space shooter is nothing new and original, but this game has some unique features that will get your attention definitely. First of all, the living pet gun, which will allow you to choose between different firing modes for your pet gun and use it as a traditional blaster or send it at your enemies in the pet form to tear them off and harness the power of their biotech. This feature looks really cool, and I'm more than sure that most of you will definitely love it. Another feature that attracted my attention is reconfigurable enemies, which will allow you to fight hordes of twisted mutants capable of reconfiguring or straightening their alien bodies with rough technology and other smaller monsters. Grab smaller monster, attach it to you and become bigger, stronger and uglier. Why not? Besides those, this game possesses online co-op system, which is always welcome and great, and also procedurally generated levels that will ensure that every mission you embark on will offer a unique experience. The team that stands behind this title is Pet Project Games, a small indie studio that comes from my country, and it's made of few really talented people. The release date is set for the February next year, which is a couple of months away, so it's not that far at all. The next game on this list is Scorn, an atmospheric first-person horror adventure set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. This game is designed around the idea of being thrown into the world. Isolated and lost inside this dreamlike world, you will explore different interconnected regions in a non-linear fashion. The unsettling environment is a character itself. Every location contains its own theme, puzzles and characters that are integral in creating a cohesive world. Throughout the game, you will open up new areas, acquire different skill sets, weapons, various items and try to comprehend the sight presented to you. Scorn takes place in an open-ended world with different interconnected regions. Each region is a maze-like structure with various rooms and paths to discover. All this storytelling happens in-game, with no cutscenes to distract you from the grisly reality of the living, breathing world you are in. But keep your eyes open, the game won't show you any sympathy if you miss something important on your uneasy travels. Everything has a reason and purpose, you just need to work out what it is. This game definitely looks awful and amazing at the same time. The first time we saw pre-alpha footage of this game was back in 2014, and since then the development is in progress. There has been a lot of speculations that the development is cancelled and that Scorn won't be able to see the light of day, but fortunately that is not true. What is really interesting is that the Scorn is another upcoming game that comes from my country. The team that stands behind this title is Zep Software, and it's amazing to watch how this game grows from an indie to a really serious project. The release date is finally known and it will be by the end of this year, so we won't wait long. Bleak Forsaken is a third-person, open-world survival horror action RPG set in a universe, as the developers say, you never experienced before. In this game, you will be able to play as one of the Forsaken, the last frontier of humanity against the growing horrors of the Omni structure. As you find yourself stranded in faraway outposts, you must adapt in order to survive. The nature of your purpose, however, is shrouded in mystery, and as you delve deeper into the main fault holes of the Omni structure, you will come to find the true meaning of alienation, isolation and dread. This game is definitely one of the most ambitious indie projects so far and my most anticipated game this year. The world of Bleak, the only structure is Labyrinth. The world employs both vast open areas and more linear openness in Metroidvania fashion. The aim is to evoke that same feeling of wonder and excitement that you felt the first time you played a game, the first time you experienced 3D graphics, the first time you experienced something that felt formative and not habitual. Open world in Bleak is a crucial aspect to showing you the reality of the Forsaken. In this world there are few heavens for the Forsaken, and these are generally outposts which serve as bases to recover from journeys and prepare for more. When it comes to combat, the combat communicates the danger in adrenaline-pumping fashion. Fast, responsive and unforgiving, you will learn and feel every victory, nothing comes easy. Approach combat in your own way however, choose stealth over face-to-face combat, choose ranged over melee, choose technomancy over more traditional combat styles. The system allows you to express yourself through combat or through avoiding it, and that's further supported through a class system as well. A lot of people say that this game is just another Souls-like game, even though it's a little bit inspired by Dark Souls and have that Souls vibe. Bleak is definitely not that. What is most interesting part is that behind this title stands only two guys, Misha Vukcevic and Mirko Stanic, two really talented developers that after a great start on Kickstarter will definitely bring us something really good. I won't go in depth about this game, in case you're interested I have a dedicated video with more infos. The release date is set for last quarter of this year and like the previous two games, it's not that far guys. And the last game on this list is no more no less than a remake of a cult survival horror from 2008, Dead Space. Yeah, you heard it right guys, the Dead Space remake is happening. Although it is still far away, it's important that eventually we will have a chance to play it. The remake was announced during EA Live Digital Showcase and it will come on new Xbox and PlayStation consoles and PC as well. The remake will lead us again through the story primarily set in 26th century science fiction universe featuring environments, weapons and characters typical of that genre. The Dead Space franchise centers on a series of video games beginning with the release of the first Dead Space, which follows an engineer named Isaac Clarke and the mutated undead horrors that surrounded him. A central theme in the games is the fictional cult religion Unitology and its fanatical followers, who believe that information about an alien artifact called the Marker is being suppressed by the Earth's government. Their primary goal is to use this marker to bring about so-called convergence or unification, with the markers being the source of the undead monsters encountered by the series' protagonists. It is said that this game will raise the level of horror and immersion to unprecedented heights for franchise through stunning visuals, audio and controls powered by the Frostbite game engine. Fans will experience an improved story, characters, gameplay mechanics and more as they fight to survive a living nightmare aboard the desolate mining starship. Here is the official statement from Motive, the developers that work on this remake. We have a passionate team at Motive who are approaching this remake as a love letter to the franchise, going back to the original and having the opportunity to do so on the next generation consoles. As we look to modernize the game, we reached out to dedicated fans and invited them to provide us with feedback since the early stages of production to deliver the Dead Space game they want and for new players to enjoy as well. On the livestream showcase, the developers showed us some really interesting stuff, so for example Dead Space Remake will let you float in zero gravity, rather than having to leap between surfaces with your boots otherwise anchored to the ground. When it comes to the story, the developers mentioned some kind of lore infusion and hinted that they would build out the Dead Space story. We are not going to change the foundation of the story, because that story is really iconic, said creative director Roman Campos Oriola. The things we want to enrich in terms of story or narrative is really about the bigger universe of Dead Space. We want to have more ties with what came after, whether it's the books, whether it's the anime, whether it's Dead Space 2, we want to put the original in a better way inside that broader universe. A remake of a good old Dead Space is on its beginning, and it will need time until we'll be able to play it. I also read somewhere that the developers will go dark now, so they can focus on work, which means we will have no infos in upcoming period. I really can't wait to see some new info and the progression of the development, and eventually to play this remake. And that will be it for this video fam, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then like would be super appreciated so this video can reach more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and in case you want to spend some money to support this channel in the long run, consider becoming a Patreon. If you like, of course. All the links are in the description. And as always fam, until next time, see ya and stay cool.